Hello everyone, welcome back to part 4 of the Dusty Pink Cardigan in Blues. I want to talk to you about the sleeve because now it's time for me to show you how I worked my sleeve. So you can see this is where the body ends, right here. The sleeve starts from here and goes all the way to here. Now you see that it starts with 3 motifs per side joined in a row, in a circle, and it ends up with 4 motifs in a row joined in circle. So obviously if you want a larger sleeve, you do not need to bother shaping it like I did. You can just keep going with these 6 motifs in a circle all the way down and you're gonna have a larger sleeve. But if you want to shape it to fit your arm better, then you might want to work the way I did. And this is exactly the space that needs to be filled with modified motifs. So like I said, first row, first circle will have 6 motifs of 8 petals, so that this is like the regular motifs that I showed you how to join. There will be a hexagon shaped space at the underarm. You have 3 motifs on one side, 3 motifs on another, so that gives you 12-point space here. I'll show you how to join that later. And then this row here joins to these 3 on this side and the 3 at the back, and then they join here between each other, so you're like joining in one circle. That would be the start of your sleeve. The next 4, 1, 2, and then 3 and 4, they do not join to each other in a circle, okay? So that's like 1, 2, 3 rows of motifs that do not join here at the seam. But the next 4 rows, each row of 4 motifs will join at the seam here in a circle, okay? So like this. I'm gonna show it to you in a new sample so you understand what I mean. So this is the new sample that I am working on, and the sleeve starts here with 6 motifs in a circle that are joined between each other here. And then I work 3 rows of 4 motifs that I do not join to each other in a circle, okay? Because the space that is created here up to this has to be filled. And then the last 4 rows of these motifs, they are joined to each other, see? Like this. So first things first, we're gonna start joining, filling this space at this point here, and then we'll go towards the end. So if we look at this sleeve, we also have 6 motifs here. But this motif is not like this motif. First of all, it has only 7 popcorn stitches, which means that this ring here has 7 single crochets, not 8 like the usual motif has, okay? And then this row of petals is missing from this motif. And that's exactly what we're gonna do. We're gonna need 4 motifs of 7 popcorns without the petal row. So to start the 7 popcorn motif, you have to chain 3 and slip stitch in the first chain to create this little very small ring, and then chain 1 and work 7 single crochets into this very small ring. So that's my first single crochet, and then second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh. We end this round with a slip stitch into the first single crochet, chain one, cut the thread, weave it in, and we're ready to start on the next row. But just like before, just like I showed you, the next round is the popcorn round, okay? I have made the sample here already. So in each single crochet, you're gonna work a popcorn out of 5 double crochets and a chain 3 space, okay? So in total, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 popcorns separated by a chain 3 space. Weave your tails. Remember, make 4 of these. My 4 little motifs are ready to be joined. Like I said, the row of petals here will be missing. So I'm gonna get my project that I am working on right now, and this is obviously this is not the cardigan I started in the first 3 parts. This is actually a dress that has the same construction as the cardigan, except for the center opening. So the sleeve is absolutely the same. So this is the view from above, okay, of one of the sleeves. Since I have 4 motifs, 2 will go for one sleeve and 2 for the other one. So I'm grabbing the last color that I need, like as I would have for the 4th and 5th row of this little motif. In this case, it's this color for me, because I'm gonna work this round right now. And this round also joins to the other motifs. So what do I do here? I'm gonna start in pattern as before. I'm just gonna make sure that I do this the right way. Okay, so in this case, what we have to do, I'm just gonna find this part, and in each space, in each chain 3 space, we have to work 2 single crochets. So I'm gonna start with 1 single crochet as the beginning of the row. And then I'll work chain 6 like this. So when I work the chain 6 space, I immediately weave in the tail from the beginning of the round. Because I want my work to look as neatly as possible. All right, and we go ahead and we work 2 single crochets into the next space. And that's what we do, chain 6 and 2 single crochets into the next chain 3 space. They are all chain 3 spaces, that's why I will be saying only into the next space. So we go around like that. With chain 6 and then 2 single crochets into the next space. Again, chain 6, 2 single crochets into the next space. And continue like that till the end of this round. Do not cut your thread. And I'm on my last last chain 6 space, and I'm gonna work one more single crochet into the first space that I started this row, slip stitch into the first single crochet of this row, and then slip stitch into the next space, and in pattern chain 1, 2 single crochets here. First picot is free, just like before, like in the previous videos. So this is the first picot, and then 3 single crochets. If there are any bits of the tails sticking out, you can cut them later, that's not a problem. So with the second picot of this round, we're gonna start joining to this side. I like to join from my left arm towards the left, from my right arm towards my left. That's why I'm gonna turn my work so it suits me. It's gonna be facing me like this, the sleeve like that, because I'm gonna start onto this side here. The same, I'm gonna count 2 stitches free, 2 picots free, and then 2 will be connected. So I'm gonna start 1, 2, 3, 4 into the 4th picot right here. I apologize for the mistakes I make when I talk. It's kind of like 2 a.m. right now when I am recording this video, so you do understand why I might say the wrong thing. So we continue covering this space with 2 single crochets, and then let me make sure that it has those 2 chain spaces. Yes, it has. So we worked the 2 chain spaces, the 2 chain stitches, and continue with the next space the same with 2 single crochets, connecting picot. So chain 1, slip stitch into the next picot to join, chain 1, slip stitch into your 3rd stitch from hook, continue with 3 single crochets into this same space, and then we need to have 2 free picots on our motif to keep the structure of this design. Okay. So 1 picot, 2 single crochets into the same space. So basically now it's like following the pattern. One more free picot, another 3 single crochets here, and the next 2 picots have to join to this motif right here. So I'm gonna turn my work so that I'm comfortable working these stitches. So this is the motif that I need to work to join it to. So I'm gonna skip 1, 2, and then in the 3rd, I'm gonna work this picot into the 3rd one. Okay. Like this. And I'm gonna finish covering this space with 2 single crochets, chain 2, next space again 2 single crochets, a joining picot, because we need to have 2 joined picots here. So one is done and the second one is joining now. Finish your picot, 3 single crochets into this space. Now, so we've basically joined with the main picots. Next, continue the motif and pattern till the end of this round. I got at the end of this round, so I'm ending it with chain 2 and a slip stitch into the first single crochet. Chain 1 and cut your thread. You can weave it now or you can weave it in later. Now it really does not matter. Just don't forget about it once you get there. So let's take a look at what we have so far. This is how the sleeve starts right here with these 3 motifs. It's right here, okay? And like I said, I needed a way to decrease the width of this sleeve to get me here. So if I had to continue working full motifs like this, I wouldn't be able to shape the sleeve the way I wanted. So believe me, it took me like literally 2 weeks in order to figure out how to make this sleeve go smoothly to only 2 motifs from 3. So if you see at this row here, because this motif is so little, the distance from this to that is already smaller by, well, this is at least ½ inch, so that's very helpful here. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and join in the other motif for the other side of this sleeve, and since I like to work from right to left, I'm gonna have to move my work around in such a manner that it's easy for me to work with. Okay, so this side will be open for me here, so I'm gonna start joining this next motif with this motif. I'm gonna join here, I'll leave 2 picots free, I'll join here to this motif, I'll leave 2 picots free, and then I'll leave here 2 picots, and then I'll join to these 2. I'll demonstrate in just a second. The motif is ready to be joined. So I need this side of my new motif to be open in order to be able to join the new motif here to these 2. So the first picot is going to be free, like always, like in every other motif that I worked in this project. Continue in pattern. And then I'm gonna join this new motif to this motif, to the one that's on top of it here. So count 1, 2, 3, 4 into the 4th. We work our first joining picot, chain 2, the next space, another joining picot here, so the work starts to turn around because it's easier to work when you turn your work around. Now, following the pattern, we need 2 free picots here now. 1, 2, so we're gonna work them. That's my first free picot on this side. My second free picot now. Continuing in pattern. And the next picot is going to join this motif on this side. Okay. So we count 1, 2, 3, 4. We start with the third one here. All right, so we joined on these two sides, and now I have to join this motif to this motif, okay? I just need to make sure that I leave, what do I leave here? So I joined here and I joined here. I do not join here yet. On the bottom here, I join, yes, I leave 2 and then 2, okay. So I'm gonna have to leave 2 free picots. I'm gonna have to make them now. 1, 2, 3. That's my first free picot on this side. Chain 2. The next space of my motif. The second free picot, and starting with the next picot, I'm gonna have to join to my first little motif, okay, to this one. All right, so we have to count 1, 2, and then 3, 4. So with the third one, I'm gonna start joining. That's the first picot to join. And the second picot will follow like this. I'm gonna check again just to make sure that everything is correct, and then I'll get back to you. All right, this is the sleeve so far. So it starts here with those 6 motifs joined in a circle here, down here. And then you have the 2 on one side, 2 on another, in total 4 motifs of 8 petals. And then we have the two little motifs that have 7 popcorns. These ones have to have 4 picots free at this side, okay? So they do join on the bottom here, as usual, as you would. And there will be a square space here and 1 square space in between here, like at the seam of the sleeve, okay? Here. We're gonna worry about these spaces later, but right now I want to continue filling the space for this sleeve. So the next motif that needs to be done, by the way, you can work these 2 little motifs for the other sleeve now, so you do not forget what you did here. And then the next motif that I need to work is this motif. After that one comes this one, and lucky us, we have to work only 1 motif this time, because this motif here connects both sides of the sleeve. And this is a full motif, but it's a 9-petal motif. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. So it has the ring, the popcorns, the petals, and the last row here. Okay, so let's see. It's gonna connect this motif. It's gonna have 2 here, 2 free, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 picots connecting those 2 free, and then 2 connect to this motif, 2 free, and then 2 free. Okay, so at the end we're gonna have 6 free picots. All right. So work your motif the same manner as the other ones, just this one has 9 petals. So start with 4 chains in the beginning for the ring and work 9 single crochets into that ring.